What? All the jokes are ruined. Device not connected. Okay, is your sound up? Try now, guys. Speak for the people.
Yeah, you're right. I only hear Will so far.
Yeah.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Okay, yeah, I think we're all there. I think we're good.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. What a disaster. All right. Anyways, all that was for naught. We were just talking. So no update for Alex's internet this week. I was supposed to bring him a cable. He was supposed to show up in Brampton, but he didn't. That was what you missed. Blah 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 blah. Moving on. JC, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful.
Nice.
How about you? It's been forever.
Has it been that long?
Feel like it.
I don't think it has.
What, 1 week? That's a long time.
That's a while. It's a while. For those who don't know, around these parts, JC and I are considered to be twins because we are of the same age, born in the same year. We have the same hair, and some say a similar physique.
Aren't we similar birthdays too? Are we both September?
I think we're both September.
Wow.
I know I'm September.
I know I'm September. Oh God. We might be twins.
Hello, Darren is in the house. We have Steve and we have Damian with us tonight. Welcome. Hopefully Alex, are you okay?
Yeah. Just fixing things.
All right. So yes, as you can see, we have a nice fire for our holidays. Oh, I didn't bring my Santa hat. I don't even know where it is. Sorry. Maybe next year. So, a couple things. Remember, on the December 29th from last week, we made an announcement. December 29th, we have product announcements coming from HCG. I think it's just a post on the website is the information I've got. Alex, do you have anything to add to that, or
No, not really.
Not involved in that at all? It's more of a.
I have no clue what goes on in HCG. That's an enigma to me. That place.
So that's going to be exciting to hear. See what they've got planned for the upcoming set in Invasions. We saw that spoiler last week. So we have two designers here. Mm-hmm. So how do we feel? How do we feel about Invasions on a design level? JC, we'll throw it to you because Alex is the boss. So
there's going to be some spice in Invasion. Like, if you like spicy stuff,
well,
all the spice, all the shade you can throw. That's how I feel about Invasion so far.
Okay. Do you feel like it's going to be the strongest set to date on a power level?
I still think Origins will be a bit more powerful, but Invasion will give you that techie stuff or that meat and potatoes you really, really want, whether it's through techniques or summons. There'll be something for everyone to really enjoy. And again, like Origins push boundaries, Invasions will push boundaries as well.
Damian just called us out. Everybody knows Raze is the strongest set. Like, what are we on about?
Yeah, I don't know if we can trust.
Rock some days.
Well, you had Lightless, JC. That was that one card.
One card. I'm still hoping.
And there was that other one.
Someone was attacking Tacky Psyche, and I need to give them a hug.
And there was that other card in Raze. Oh,
we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Oh well. Yeah, I think. Okay, so Alex, how about you? You've looked at the whole picture. You've this is your first full set, right?
Yes, technically. Now, even though this isn't design, my number one excitement is definitely the art for this set. Like, I know everybody thinks Origin was like a step up, then Invasion's gonna blow them away.
Wow.
Like, it's just gonna blow everybody away.
So it's just all Dahlia then. We love Dahlia's artwork around here. That's really exciting to hear, right? Because there was a big step up in the art to Origins. which everyone seemed to really, appreciate and get behind and really like the step up there. We had a bunch of new people. Do we have more new people added, or is it just more of the same people?
I believe there's only one new artist added.
Okay.
I believe we did the spotlight for Marion.
Oh yeah.
Earlier in the year.
Oh, they didn't do anything for Origins.
They were in Origins.
They were new for Invasion.
Everybody else, there were some newer people like Carl McRaven who got on at the very end of Origins and just barely was in there. I feel like there's a lot more featured in Invasion. Trying to think of, I know he did, if you can remember it, the Bazin promo artwork for Total Cards. I'm trying to think what else he did.
The close-up portrait sort of one, right?
Yeah.
Nice. I think there's another one that he did too. I think we were playing it last night on the draft. But that's good. So from an art perspective, you think we have a step up on the art. JC, we have a step up on the spice. I'm going to interpret that as a step up of power level. From Future League, I can say that if all the cards that we've been playing with are a reflection of the cards that are in the set, then yeah, there are definitely, from a Future League perspective, I would say Invasions is going to be a big power level boost. To the point where there's going to be so many options at so many different levels of chi that I think we'll actually see new decks. Maybe the same decks, but very different pieces in those decks, right? Like, I think we have the potential to have a replacement for a Brook, right? I don't think we have a replacement for Chrono Walker. We're not going crazy. I think we have good Bellum summons, at least from what we're playing with on the Future League, right? And again, just for everyone's clear, when I say Future League, those are cards that are code named. They're not we don't have the actual art. We don't know the final stats, the final costing, but they are fairly close approximations at this point. There's been cards on there for a while that were on there while the Origin cards were still on there. So there's some assumptions that we can make from the length of time a card's been on for that while. So some of those cards are the ones that are coming to my mind, but overall, do you think are you happy with the set?
Yeah, I'm definitely happy with the set.
Was it different coming into is it different coming in halfway through versus starting from the beginning? And which one did you prefer?
Oh, it depends on how much of story time I want to go into.
Surface level.
Definitely I enjoyed doing Origins better. I can talk about the process of Origins versus Invasion, but when I stepped into Origins, there was just a massive pile of cards, and we just played, and as we played, we're like, this card was really fun. Let's put it into the set.
Okay.
And that's how we did. Now, unfortunately, we did not get that with Invasions. Some higher ups, there's many of them up there, decided to change that strategy. We did a lot more, doing it a different way. So it was a lot more in-house testing, more specific strategies going through that.
So there's more of a foundation to start with. Like, there's more like, okay, we need to do these things.
Yeah, and it was more linear. Like, we know this affiliation is going to focus on this. This affiliation is going to do that. This affiliation is going to do this. And we went from there.
Okay. I think there's benefits to both, right? Like, having a large card pool and pulling out, a bunch of good cards is definitely a way to do that. But then, like, also having like a game plan and watching that develop and grow is also, can shift things a little bit differently. So I think it's going to be, I don't know about like the behind the scenes stuff. I just know the cards seem to be very powerful and seem to be very focused.
We got a question for Jeff. Can we postpone the video 30 to 40 minutes for him? He's still driving.
Oh, sure, Jeff. We'll just wait here.
Yeah, we'll just wait for you. We can just sit here in silence. I don't think he knew we could do that. All right, but in all fairness,
I was ready to wait a whole lot longer.
no.
I got
I ain't got time for that. Even though this isn't the question, we're now jumping back to the origin style for the next set. And you, like, if you're part of Future League, you've probably seen this. There's just cards being thrown in here and there nonstop. Sometimes absolutely ridiculous broken cards. I haven't gotten to my. I need to put really broken one in yet.
Didn't you put an 11 chi in there somewhere?
Yeah, I put 11 cheese, 12 cheese. But, I wanted to put one that just said, like, target champion loses the game. See how it goes.
That goes against the pillars. I think I could find an argument somewhere in the 100 episodes.
You can argue anything, I could say, oh, no, this is important for the pillars. This pillar proves that you need to always have options. So if you don't play defensive cards in your deck, you should lose the game.
You have no defense.
You see the Mafia look there? Hey, I'm doing this instead.
Travis, I caught your comment there. Sure, awesome. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of the conversation. Good luck on the trip to the LGS. I hope you have fun. Okay, so yeah, I'm really excited for Invasions. Like my anticipation is getting more and more, especially as we have the new year, we have some announcements coming. I'm interested to see what those changes are. But I just think it's going to be a really good set. This is going to be the second time that we have Phage, so we'll have a much deeper dive into what Phage looks like and what Phage is.
That's an important question I want to answer in the chat. The Butcher says, hi guys, where can I get a playmat? Is eBay the only place because none of my LGSs have any? I want you to go to your LGS and go, hey, can you order playmats? It's as simple as that. And they should be able to order playmats and bring them in for you. I'm sure they'll pre-order if they want to say, I want to give you money now. Can you order me a playmat? They are available. They're not sold out at all. They're at all distribution. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. If that doesn't work, you can always reach, depending where you are, reach out on the Discord, and we could probably set you up with some of the bigger stores that are carrying stuff, and they could probably get you one. I know there's a lot of stores in the Discord as well, so you can always try that route as well.
All right, we got another question from Travis. A question, if I may, before I go. As a new player, looking forward to more with the upcoming set. Is there... Oh, my phone. My computer just went to sleep that I was reading on.
If there is a upcoming set, is there a theme, region, direction, or otherwise to Invasions? I think that's kind of what you were saying, right? I think that you were mentioning. So instead of having a large card pool, so just for some recap, we had Beta, Welcome to Jalara. We had Rays. We don't talk about Rays. And then we had J2 was a remastered set. And then we had Origins, right? So we had 3 sets and a whole bunch of cards that were cut off the table, kind of thing, if I'm understanding what you're saying. And there was this big pool of cards that you were able to then pull from for Origins, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
So then when it came to Invasions, you started with an actual theme and sort of description of what each color was going to be.
I'm not sure if he's asking about lore here, or he's asking about, because he's theme, region, right? Those could be referring to the lore. Where obviously with the Origins, we did north of Jalara, right? I'm not too sure. Hey, Travis, if you're still there, give us more specifics on what you're hoping for.
Okay, well, let's say it is region. Are we still in the north?
We are still in the north. We are picking up exactly from where we left off.
For the lore wise, okay.
From the lore wise, if you haven't read the final chapter, or you weren't in the championship, or Sid spoiled what happened in the final chapter, I could spoil it right now if nobody cares.
Whoa, wait. Spoiler warning.
No. This is where it's supposed to be. Go to www.genesisbattleofchampions.com and go read it now. There's the plug.
Okay, here we go. I'm wondering what the focus is thematically or otherwise about the upcoming set. I don't know yet much about the sets or what their focus is on. Thank you for... Okay. So yeah, once the themes of the colors and the set.
So the funny thing you're asking is like, if you look at previous sets, there really weren't many themes except for race. Didn't really have most of the sets didn't have themes. For Invasion,
We don't talk
there
about race.
is in fact themes.
Ooh.
There is a theme for every affiliation, excluding Jalara. That's neutral.
Neutral color.
I'm deciding how much I want to spoil right now.
Don't do it.
Will
Be
saying
careful.
don't do it. Sorry, Will said you're not getting much.
Well, no, I don't listen to me. I'm just
It's
a
all Will's
fan.
fault.
I
No
want all the
spoilers.
spoils.
You'll have to wait till the 29th, and after the 29th comes out, maybe I will spoil it a bit more.
Not even one?
Oh, okay, one? Fine. Well,
One little spoiler.
there is a bunny in the set in Thymos. Ooh.
It's not a spoiler. That's an expected outcome now. The spoiler would be, oh, by the way, there is no bunny this time. That would be the spoiler.
All right.
You ruined one of my favorite cards in Future League, by the way. With that
all right, I'll give you guys a proper spoiler. There will be
peer pressure, everyone. Peer pressure.
A new race on a. Oh, sorry. There's a new champion with a new race never before seen.
Wait, champions have races?
The champions do have races on their card.
What? Again, I don't know the word.
JC's trying to figure it out, but that's okay, JC. I was new race never before seen on a champion card.
Let me see here. I have a Bazin. Oh, Bazin is a fairy. Definitely missed that piece of text. I definitely go, name a card. What does it do? Everything else is not important. And then I go down, who designed this? And I'm like, huh? And I go, oh, I like this art. And I see Dahlia's name. That's usually what happens.
You do know at the literal moment, I am now going into all the thoughts like, wait, did I miss something?
Oh.
No, I'm not going to spoil it either way.
Everyone's trying to guess now. Jeff, be careful. Don't type while you're driving, please. Like, make sure you're not responding. We waited for you to get home. So be safe, my friend.
I won't say the race, but I will say it has been a fan favorite.
What? All right, I'm pulling that now before I say anything.
I don't know what you're doing.
Oh boy, what is this divulging into? What have I opened up? The can of worms. Everything is just not
Pandora's
being contained.
box.
Stuff everything back in the box, guys.
I just did.
All right, so we're here with a nice fireside chat. Alex and I had a what was it, a hot date? No, it was a draft last night.
Yeah, we did a draft.
We did a draft Monday nights on the Discord. We are doing drafts through Fate Weaver, which is the Coliseum of Fate, which is done by Awesome Wasim, and he has set up the ability to do a 6-person draft online from the comfort of your own home, and it's pretty awesome. It is pretty good. So I wanted to go over with JC, who is, by far the expert. He played Ajna Tigers before anyone else played Ajna Tigers. At least that's what he states.
My only claim to fame.
So let's go over our draft decks and let's see what we can put together. So up above we have the Minot deck, which was Alex's draft. I'm going to overlay this just a little bit. We will lose our fire, but it's okay. Everyone knows it's still there. Okay. So to walk us through what you were seeing. How did you come to
my
this?
draft?
Yeah, your draft.
I'm just going to assume it's up on the screen right now for everybody.
It's up on the screen right now.
All right, so I'll start with my first pick. It was a Tsunami. My choices between my first pack was Tsunami or Firing Krog. And I honestly still think Tsunami was the right pick, even though Firing Krog is a nice, powerful card, but it's a mid-chi card, so it's not going to mess up with my chi in the long run. It has lots of power. Not many people are going to be prepared for it. And in my first match, I cleared out 3 summons and hit the opponent champion with 1 Tsunami.
That's value, actually.
Yeah.
BK value menu there item, right?
And I did not originally grab Bellum. I was almost only grabbing Axon and Jaylara in the first pack. I got a couple Bellum, and at the very end, everybody just got Phage cards because nobody wants to grab Phage for some reason.
There was so much Phage.
I regretted not grabbing Phage. I wanted to, especially after thinking pack 2, you're like, oh, I bet Alex is grabbing Phage. I was like, I wanted to, but I can't give up a Tsunami. That's my calling card.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Sorry, I think I'm going to lose the fireplace for a second here, but hopefully
all right,
it comes
no
back.
worries.
I don't know why, but something's spamming out. All right, so Tsunami is your first card, and then so you got Bellum later. That kind of makes sense.
So,
but you got 4 air soldiers.
I got 4 air soldiers. 2 of them in pack 3 and 2 of them in pack 4.
Wow.
Now, I also need to state, I forgot there was a pack 4, so my deck was ready at pack 3.
So from there, you just started
you
just started gaining better cards, right? I can see, you started leading some stuff. Yeah.
So at pack 3, there was.
It's too hard for you to please. Hey, wait, you.
1 second, please.
Awkward. It's all right.
That's my life working from home some days.
Sometimes
they're having a random conversation. Someone comes in, it's like, hey, it's like, but I'm working.
That might be his dinner though. We want to make sure that Alex gets fed, right? Because he can be grumpy when he doesn't get food.
All right.
I can respect that.
Do we have to give him the stickers when he does?
I'm back.
4 air soldiers.
Yeah, by the end of it, I look way more like a Bellum deck than anything.
Anything else?
4 air soldiers along my. Sorry. So a few other cards that I grabbed that I'm not actually seeing here, which is interesting. It's listed at the side part. No, there should be Psychic Blasts. I originally grabbed 1 or maybe 2 Psychic Blasts because I wasn't told that we were doing Origins only cards. I'd run them with a Nubia, but I won't run them with anybody else.
Right.
So those got taken away once I got told it was Origins only champions at deck building.
Yeah. Well, we should have we should have clarified that before we started, but because it does affect things, right? If you have Idiris and Nubia, and some of the powerhouses from before, even Fong's really good in draft or in sealed limited. It changes some things, but yeah, I mean overall, I think there's a great set of cards here, right? Now, why did you choose?
Hello?
Well, you have you had Divine Blessings, Warping Sweeps, Air Strikes, but then you decided to remove those. What were the replacements for those?
So Warpings. So in draft, I am gonna focus on Aura over Energy any day, especially in an Origins draft.
Mm-hmm.
Will, one of your strategies was to mill out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got the Warping Sweeps, but maybe if I was playing a 2 energy champion, I would play them. But playing a 0 energy champion, the 5 energy was just way too much.
Agreed.
Yeah. I could have played the Divine Blessing, but I am more inclined to go with offensive cards than defensive cards to try to win faster.
That's what we call a hypocrite right there. Because he says, put all your defensive cards in, but then he's like, I don't play defensive cards
in, you're low cheese. And that's why I got lots of defensive cards down in the back end.
We'll talk about those 3 protective faiths in our matchup, because that was just silly.
So, Alex, I have a question. You started off with Axon.
Yeah.
What was your Widowmaker to go into Bellum? What was the first card you seen? It's like, okay, Bellum, I'm going to start locking in.
Axon just stopped coming. And only Bellum was coming.
Axon dried up really fast.
Yeah. So Will was also playing Axon, and he was to one side. So I think definitely pack 2, there was no Axon coming. So I was just like, oh, but there's Bellum coming. All right, I'll grab this Bellum, grab this Bellum, grab this Bellum. And then after pack 2, I was more Bellum than Axon. And it just continued that way.
That sounds like some hate draft going on there somewhere.
Well, Alex and I were side by side, so I'm I wasn't quite sure. I'm pretty I knew the amount of phage I was getting. Alex wasn't in phage, and I knew the amount of chaos I was getting. Alex wasn't in chaos. So
I was passing so many nice chaos cards after Stag 1. I was like, oh, there goes Inferno Crawler, Malefic Impalements, all these amazing cards going.
Definitely hate drafted some Malefic Impalements.
I didn't. I let them have it. I was like, all right, go take it.
We weren't able to play a full set of games, but we were able to play 2 games. So your first game, like you said, the Tsunami, the one of Tsunami in the opening hand, really swung that game, right? A big swing.
Air Soldier actually, did a lot of work in that game too. I think it swung maybe twice, and both times it did 6 damage.
Wow. Did you have the Longma much, or the bear?
Didn't get Longma. Didn't get the Territorial Bala. The Territorial Bala I took as my first pick in pack 2 when the double rares got sent over to you.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would pick the bear of those double rares. Those rares were rough. There was a lot. I was getting a lot of phage rares at the end of the packs. I was like, wow. I mean, Terrible Memories is really bad in limited. I can understand why people are passing on that, but yeah. And then obviously Origins, you went with Minot. I think it worked really well for you because you didn't use an ice wall once, but the two damage range was definitely very nice.
Yeah, I feel like in the sealed format, the 2 damage range is more important than the ice wall. Maybe there was a moment towards the end of the game when you still had an Inferno Crawler where I thought about, maybe I would go for a Minot first and then wall it in.
Yeah, I think that was Seam had the Inferno Crawler. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Nice.
In our set, when I faced you, Will, it was a very close game.
For sure.
The fact that you got that healing off, I was like, wow.
So the healing came in clutch both times. I know I lost my first game against Joe G because he drew the one card that he could still cast that still allowed him to win the game because it was a range card. And he top decked that. But other than that, I came back from a huge board of his. I had to use all the wrong cards to kill at all the wrong times just to survive. But in that game, I actually got all my healing. So I actually healed for 12 health in that game. So I took all my hits from the big summons, killed them all after they were exerted, and then healed back up and was still able to survive right down to the end. But he was able to clean up. But yeah, the heals, I've really become a fan of. Well, actually, let me just pull up the deck, I guess.
I gotta find your deck because I don't have it.
Should be on the stream. Oh, you can't see the stream? Okay.
I think in draft healing is a bit underrated. I remember playing a draft back at Black Bait Games and balancing with Julian Waters at the time. I was running an aggressive Nubia of all things, like an aggro Nubia with spells, with spell slinging left, right, and center. And my last game I lost because the guy had a Julian Waters that he balanced with, and I could not chip that last bit of health away from him.
Right. Yeah, my actual first pick was Sudden Vengeance, but I was like, I don't know. It was a really rough pack. But then I think right after that, I think it was a mute came up. I was like, okay, well, I can go. My go-to is normally Bellum Thymos in draft. I've always had good success with that, but and then Nausea Cobra came up, and then from there, there was, I think, some blue started showing up, and then I quickly realized that people were just passing on all the fatigue. So I was like, well, if everyone's passing on fatigue cards, then maybe I can make this work, right? So I pretty quickly decided to go to Kareen with having the option of being open to Cato if I got enough summons.
Makes sense.
But then I had the mute. Pack 2, pick 1 was the Pari. And those worked well with Kareen's ability. And then it was just a whole bunch of if I'm going to be using my energy to mill out or deal damage, then my aura needs to be the summons that are really annoying to deal with or are really good positionally. And then healing, because I knew that if I was going to try to mill them out, there's going to be a very grindy set of games where I have to pick my time. I'm going to have to take some hits. I'm going to have to, control the board a little bit when I can, and then go in for the fatigue hit, once I know that they can't respond, right? Whereas, and you kept having 6 cards in your hand the whole time, because how many protected by face did you have in your opening hand?
I had 3 protected by face in my starting hand.
From the starting hand. And I'm like, I couldn't go in because he always had 6 cards. I'm like, what are these cards? Why isn't he playing?
It was 3 protected by face, a landmine holding in my hand. What else did I have? I had a force blast that I ended up using at one point.
Yeah. It was
I think that's it. I think those were the 5 that I was pretty much holding the whole game.
Yeah, so I was actually quite impressed. Like, I mean, you know, it's a good split here. Like, it's not all in on the fatigue, but I definitely was able to. I had my pick of the fatigue cards that I wanted, right? So I was able to pick the ones that I knew were going to be decent, right? So the headlocks are good. Psychic Blast is okay in Kareen, although I usually just use it just to gain the awareness instead of actually using the card, because the
that worked for you well.
Yeah, the board state dictated that was the best call. The one redirect spell, I probably would have taken that pick back. I don't think I that really worked out too much. I did work out in the situation that we were in, but that was a very, very, very specific situation. But yeah, I like the Korok frogs. I like I was really happy with my summons all around, because they were all decent, good threats that need to be answered. And I'm a full convert on the Pelican Draft as a complete like draft, like almost not quite a draft bomb, but like so good.
It's almost there. It's almost
like it's almost that good. Like, it's insane. Yeah. Like, if you get that behind you and you can protect it and they can't like kill it, it does so much work at 5 damage. So I did have the low blow, but I decided to I had to get rid of it for some better energy efficient damage.
So my first question go to you, Will.
Yeah.
On your draft, what's one card you passed that you regretted, or did you have any regrets of passing something that you really should have grabbed?
I think I passed a called shot. Or because I remember there, like, I was like, I couldn't remember if I saw like a diving juke or like a Hardy Soup. Like, I know other people were saying that they were drafting it, but I'm like, I didn't see any of those. Did I miss it? Was there something better in the pack? Because my low end is probably my like the worst part. Like, I'm not really super happy with my 3 cheese. Earthmane Cub is great. I don't like Rhino Penny personally. I don't like direct punch personally. Like between direct punch and right hook, if I'm looking at fatigue, I might as well just go with the left hook. The right hook. What is it?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right hook. Just for the cheese space, but I'm trying to think, like, there was probably one of those cards I think I must have passed on, or I didn't see. And no tsunami. I didn't see a single tsunami the whole draft in all my packs.
Because Alex was grabbing them.
I only got one. There was just the first pack. That was it. Do you know what everybody else was playing?
So, well, we know what. I'm not sure what Scott was playing. I know Joe was playing Essa. He had sort of a big summon build Essa. With a lot of high jumps, which is actually saved in the game on multiple occasions. And then also my plan was like completely out the window against Essa, right? Like, all my cards are fatigue 3 or 4, and Essa just like reduces that down to 1. And then we know Wasim was playing. Was it Suttir?
Kasha.
Oh, Kasha. So that's where Chaos and some Bellum went.
Cato.
Scott took Cato. There he is. Thanks for the drafts. There's so many drafts. And then Scott, I'm not sure. We had another person come out, first timer. I think Scott played him. I'm not sure what he was playing. But.
So we have one card you passed out, you kind of regretted. What's one card you wish you had?
In this?
Yes.
I wish I had a diving juke. I could have used a little more evasion. I was using the illusionary misplacements, but I didn't really ever have it. Diving juke. I did have the 2 warp strikes, which are okay. A diving juke would have been nice, or some other. There was actually a jump, which I passed. He played Shun. Okay, so there's a Shun. I actually like jump in Korean just for the awareness. Because usually I'm going to stand behind like a summon or have, different pieces moving around. The Psychic Blast worked out really well, but I would have also liked the jump for the awareness boost for Korean. So, but yeah, fatigue works. It works really well. Not against Essa.
We literally had no players playing Phage.
I think I started just taking the whatchamacallums, the electropheromones, just so no one would have it. It's just hate drafted that card. But
so Alex, same goes to you. What's one card you regretted passing?
So there is several cards I did not take when I got to pack 3 and I thought it was the final pack. And I was just like, grab the 3 cheese, grab the 4 cheese.
You just sent everybody all the good stuff, is what you're saying.
Yeah. There's like, oh, that's a nice 7G. I can't grab that right now.
Oh, that's where so much heat was coming down that back, probably. I was like,
had lots of time.
So one card that you're like, that card I passed really did just.
I don't remember them all because I was just like, oh, I can't play them, and I passed them. Like there was definitely a bunch of H's that I could have grabbed. Like I could have grabbed some Bahalas or something like that. Just the higher ends. Like I didn't get these air soldiers till like more of them till 4. So like my top cheese, I got 2 air soldiers, the Force Blast, and I think maybe the Longma in towards the 4th pack.
Wow!
So all this top end stuff I started grabbing at the end.
So do you think that air soldier people are just not sure what to do with it, or they're just not people aren't familiar with it?
It's definitely a nuanced card. You almost always use air soldier's ability and go to its. You do your air soldier's turn. You double move. You go to its end step. You do stuff with anybody else when it's the 3rd ability. Then you play its stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're against the air soldier, you wait till the air soldier plays its ability, and then you react.
A good card that Air Soldier is very good against, also, for players who don't know, the breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Your opponent plays 2 breaks, plays 3 breaks, doesn't matter. 2 or up, they automatically get put on the stack. Your air soldier goes automatic 3. If they have 3 air breaks, or 3 any of the breaks, you let the 3rd one resolve. Now you can put the air soldier right on, can immediately do its 3. And because it's going to happen at the beginning of your opponent's turn, they're not moving away from your air soldier if you placed it in the position.
It's true. No, they could still have a movement. They could still have a movement card there, but go ahead, JC.
Yeah. The base self, they can't do anything.
Right.
Go ahead, JC.
It's very similar with Protect by Faith, where you're holding it on that with those breaks or anything that has a triggered ability that's going to go off on the stack.
Yeah.
If you can get that going early enough in the round, it's Protect by Faith is a really good card at that point.
Oh, Wasim was playing Drawbreak Tribal. I saw at least 4 Drawbreaks in his deck. He had 2 of them at least on himself.
And then, what's one card you wish you had for your deck?
I would grab a couple more Tsunamis if I could.
What other card do you want in your deck, Alex? Oh, I'll take 4 Tsunamis.
I got 4 air soldiers. I think 4 Tsunamis is a fair ass.
Like Alex's claim to fame in the game, Tsunami, right?
Yes, he did. How many did you run your the first championship you played in?
Oh, maybe
22.
16. No, it was only like 16.
Only like 16. Probably the only person who had 16, aside from Steve at that point, who wasn't also playing them. Right? It's just like I was like, all right, so this is a brand new game, but these 2 and these 3 people all have all the cards. What is this? It's good. Yeah, that's exciting. So Monday nights, I think we're going to try to keep doing that because it works so well. It does take a little bit of time, obviously, draft, but the draft is still open and we can meet up during the week and play with the draft decks. You can just click on the person inside of your pod and it just runs it only gives you the option of those decks. And it works really well. Like it just works and it's really cool to see.
So here's a question though, just a fundamental question, nothing against anything. Do you think 6 people is the right amount of people? It's just a question. I don't have an actual answer for it. I'm just thinking.
Interesting. Are you saying that 6 is too many?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just wondering, like, right? Like, if in the instinct of 6, if every person started drafting a single affiliation, right? Like that one there's going to be 2 pairs that grab the same affiliation.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's my so like realistically, if you're just perceiving it, there's a chance that 2 people really get screwed. Now, obviously, you shouldn't be drafting just a single affiliation,
Right.
but just philosophizing. I don't know.
I'm trying to think, like,
What
I think
is
a
it?
lot of the drafts I've done have been 6, though. Maybe 8. Maybe it was 8.
Was it Beta that had the printing issue with the affiliations where it's like you get like all one color or something like that? Or is,
Yeah.
like we could be playing like that. Was hey,
Yeah,
there's all this
Beta-
ads on stuff, but they know
Beta was back when there was the understanding that cards were supposed to be randomized within the packs, not in sequence, right? But it's something that it's just a communication thing, I think it was at that point. Scott saying, I think you want 8 for gameplay, but 6 is nice because it's a single box. Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
4 packs times 6 equals the number of packs in the box. I often get sick drafting too, Will. What?
Sounds like,
yeah,
Jeff gets some good stuff drafting.
When he has to pass cards to you, Will, he gets sick.
Doesn't
that what
anybody
he's
get
saying?
when they have to pass cards to Will?
No, man. The last 2 weeks, Jeff's been off his game. I think he needs some holiday. He needs some holiday eggnog, Jeff.
He needs a Snickers bar.
Oh, not feeling like yourself? Grab a Snickers. Remember that commercial? Do you remember that was a really bad commercial?
What, the one playing like Betty White was great. What are you talking about?
Well, that's Betty White though. That's a different category of commercial. If it's a Betty White commercial, then it's just automatically
it's an auto pass.
Yeah. All right. So I think we have an announcement, right?
Sure, why not? I think they send you some stuff.
Sick 6. The pun only works out loud. Now I'm just more confused. I'm just gonna warm up over here by the fire. And just forget about Jeff. All right, there we go. Thanks, JC, for joining in, making me not feel like an idiot. All right, so I have an announcement provided to me through HCG about a deal, a savings, a promotion, a thing. So let me put up the picture. Oh, that's not the picture.
Boxing Day sale next week. Is that what?
Boxing Day sale.
That's
Hey, there we go. Someone knows stuff. Move this up there. There we go. All right, Boxing Day sale. So let me just read some information here, and that should be good. Okay, so Boxing Day sale, it goes like this. We have many items will be on sale through this. Okay, this is through the website. A lot of Genesis accessories will appear for the first time. Card sleeves, affiliation coins, colored and the black ones, which tend to be a fan favorite, just the all black. Metal exert coins as well. I think those are the G ones, right?
Yes, yeah, the Metal G ones.
We will be celebrating Damian by putting up some of the remaining prints that he brought with him. So if you were at the championship, Damian had some bigger prints. He has Iblis, Longma, Rabbit, Suttir, Call the Bones. I think there's might be a few other ones, but doesn't say how many of each. But I assume there'll be that amount will be either on display or available to you when you're purchasing. As well, as you can see from our screen, is that we have a Damian set, as it's called, a collection series of Damian's of his contributions to Genesis will be available for the first time. So here we have his first artwork, his favorite artwork, and his newest piece. So we have the Essence Drain, the Alim, and the Proteus. All orders placed between December 26th and the 31st that are $25 or more will also get the 5-year anniversary poker chip. So yeah, pretty cool little deal. So, yeah, these are beautiful. Now, I don't know. Did he sign each of these, or are these prints of signs?
They are printed like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure these are spot foiled.
Ooh, can't really tell that from necessarily from here.
From the image, right?
But
hopefully I'm not wrong.
we're not saying that it is, but it could be.
Yeah.
That is the latest thing for Genesis is they have attempted the spot foiling. If you were at the championship, we had the don't even know where it is right now. Is the Harlequin, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Harlequin is a new champion. It had a special art foil.
They're not spot foiled.
They're
not spot foiled. Thank you.
Okay. So these are just are they foiled?
Yes, they are foiled.
They are foiled. Okay. So these are just the art cards. They have 1 of 3 series with the Damian signature there. If you're part of the Patreon, you may have gotten a Damian signed card inside of that as well. So you'll recognize that is his signature. This is really cool. Like first piece, favorite piece, and latest piece, I think is a really cool way to do this. And I think the sale is going to be really interesting to see. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I do collect the poker chips as well, so I need to get my 5-year chip. Sounds like an AA program. But I also need to find someone. If someone out there has a 1-year chip and is willing to let go of it, I do not have a 1-year. I just missed it, so I'll have to find that one out.
Casey, do you have a 1-year chip?
I might have one somewhere. I'll have to look.
There we go. We can talk, JC. JC is my my twin from another mother. That work? Yeah, that's right. So December 20. Now, the only thing I didn't catch. Yeah, Boxing Day sale, right? So it starts on the 26th, and your orders that happen through to the 31st will get you that 5-year chip if you're $25 or over. It's happening through the website. That'll be right after the announcement on the website for the new what would Jeff do? Oh boy. Right after the announcement of the 29th, which is pretty cool, right be in the middle there. So lots of exciting things happening. So it looks like we're going to be starting 2023 with a lot of great information. All right. So how? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool.
When are we going to get the JC Spotlight designer collection?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a thing?
I don't know.
Designer collections. That would actually be pretty cool.
You make it sound like a bag or something. The designer collection is like, yes. So what would you like to see in the designer collection?
Your favorite card. Your
okay.
Your
I feel like it's your favorite card. Your least favorite card. Yeah.
Card of shame.
Wow. That sounds like half a range of my stuff. What are you talking about?
Which card do you want to take back? Dark Loa?
Now, if you want to know what card I'd take back, I wouldn't take back any card. I would take back the cost.
The cost of some of them?
Stuff like Angelic Chains and Firemaster are just really overly costed. They were, and that's practicing in safety of, not overpowering something, but maybe with too much safety was put into it. If those were clawed back a significant amount, they wouldn't be as bad. Yeah, Carl, we'll talk later.
Everyone's got JC's on the spotlight, and all the HCG employees are coming out. It got you hot and pedestal.
From each designer, I'm okay with that.
I like that. That's a great series. The good, the bad, and the ugly so far from the designers. That would be there you go. That markets itself.
But yeah, Firemaster and Angelic Chains, again, if their costing was brought under control better, or rethought out, they'd be okay. Like Firemaster's Dance would be just a great spell to not a spell, an enchantment to deal with something that's around you might not be able to hit. Angelic Chains might do okay if Pacifier were to become a thing again.
Yeah, I think Angelic Chains ability itself was more just a loss on the workings of Pacify just didn't quite get fleshed out to the the extent that it wanted to, or what it could have been, right? Pacifying could have been maybe a touch stronger in what it actually did. But the Firemaster's dance, I mean, we see, I think, again, you're the only person I've seen play Burn Break, so I think that might be your ugly card.
I have to try, crazy combos every now and again.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, if you're thinking of like a card game, on paper, Burn Break should work, right? Like pingers is a thing that happens in a lot of games, but the awareness of it and the movement of the board, like it has to not be limited, right? You have to be able to hit from anywhere, which then gets just too strong because people, look at Idris.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a tough fence to sort of walk along, right? Fave, not gay. What?
I don't know, Jeff.
Jeez, Jeff.
Jeff sounds broken at the moment.
Is he still on the road? Like
if you want my favorite card, Jeff, Lightless to the Scene is still a decent little summon to go wreck with. And I do have hopes one day that Ascendant Teachings might see something.
I try every Future League set that comes out. I try.
Can I give you a hug? You make me feel special that you at least still try the card out.
Even when it's free, it doesn't work.
I have hopes. I can hope and dream.
But honestly, I think we've seen what Demon Scrolls can do when you limit and restrict cards. So all we need is some more restrictions or limitations, and then Ascendant Teachings gets better, right? Because then you need to actually search for the card that you want, right?
And the other thing I look at as well is if you get like a skill toolbox deck down the road, it's just I use skills, I beast mode my champion. You got to a point where you're hitting a 6/7 chi enchantment and you're getting a second copy you don't want to play or you want to find an option.
But what is your 6/7 chi enchantment though? Like Rapier's Precision.
Rapier's Precision is your best one. Is there any 6?
But now you're asking. But now you're asking for two of them, right? Because if you're putting Rapier's Precision in, you want to have that attached.
Yes.
And then you have to have the one attached to then have a second one to give away. But I would argue that putting the second one on is probably still better in the long run because it makes your basic attack better than any just always consistently happening other than a bolt shot that you're going to get, right? And we also run so many bolt shots in the deck though that we can just draw them. So I think I understand what you're saying. Like it's just like a moment there where the right situation will happen where like the right card, like if we get that 5G card that does something, a big thing in a very small time of space or whatever, right? That could be something, right? Because there's a lot more 5G skills. So we'll have to see, but I like the card. Like I like the hoops that you have to jump in for the tutors, okay? Because if we had too many tutors, like even I thought about I think I mentioned back when one of the card contests were on, and actually I'll throw this out to you as a last comment to think about as we talk. I think I asked Alex about this. I was like, in other games there are cards called searchers where they're basically like you would play a card, it lets you look at the top, X amount of cards off the top of your deck to find a summon or to find a named card or to find a type of card like a lion or like a find summon dog or whatever, right? What would those cards in Genesis be too powerful because it would be so easy to use them, or would they actually not work because you can have so many cards? There's no limit on the number of cards you can have.
Depends on how much you push it.
All right, so let's say it's like you look at the top 4 cards and you get to draw a summon of your choice from those 4 and put it into your hand.
It's not good enough. If it's a 1-for-1 exchange, that one card that you're playing to get that card, assuming it's the same G, I'm just have to assume it's the same G. Like if it's a 5-card search card and you're grabbing a 5G summon, just play 2 of those summon. You would have already started with that card in your hand.
So that's the argument saying that you can put so many of the summon in that you don't need the searcher.
Yeah.
JC, do you have anything counter?
Alan's right. So how far you push it in that, it's going to be how you push it. Given the way Genesis works in the game frame, where we can pay energy and whatnot. We start off with all our resources up front.
Right.
It does become very powerful if I'll go back Angelic Chains and Fire Master Stance. It'll take a lot of testing to find out where it sits exactly or where it should be. Because if we don't, we're either going to overcost it or we're going to overpower it, and then we're going to be in a situation where we're executing a ban on a card we don't really want to have to ban.
I think that's what Alex said before, right? It's like if it gets too strong, or if everyone just begins playing it, then it's going to put cards into the ban spotlight where it's like, well, now everyone can just find this, right? Like even if it was just like find a Bellum card from the top 4, right? Well, then as soon as a bolt shot comes up, everyone's going to be pulling that, So I think it's one of those things that because of the card limits, it sort of eliminates the need for the top of deck searcher tutor type thing. But it is something that other card games have played with. Maybe down the road it's something that could work depending on what the world is or whatever's happening in the storyline. But
run Scopophobia and have you running Phage. Yeah, you can look at the top of your deck at all times if you really want to.
I haven't seen anyone play it on themselves yet.
I played it on myself on Saturday night when I was doing a Heads or Tails. I actually played a copy on myself. It's like, I look at the top.
What's it gonna do if you play it on yourself and your opponent now knows the top of your deck? If they see a bolt shot on there, they're probably going to be like, "You're fine with the bolt shot picking it up." They're just going to react more to what's on top of your deck.
Perfect. I don't mind a sight game. Back in, I think it was Pokemon. I don't know if it's the card Rival or that allowed you to like draw 5 or something like that. Your opponent had to pick 2 to add to your hand. I didn't mind stuff like that. I don't mind psyching an opponent. I would say, hey, I got a bolt shot here. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you show someone your hand. It's like, that's what I got. What are you going to do? It's a sight game. It's what I love about the forethoughting in this game. It's, hey, this is what's coming out. Here's what's coming in. What are you going to do? I hope you made the best choice. I love it. I love it. Like, yeah, that's the greatest thing about it.
I always am like, okay, so you put 5 of those in. I really hope you don't draw it.
You don't put 5 in. You put like 1 in. You
can put so many in. And it's like, okay, well, you put 5 of those in. Okay, there's 50 cards in the deck. 10% of them are now these. I really hope you don't draw one in your open hand, because if you do, then techie psyche game. There you go. All right, it's 8:00. These two, I think, have meetings, or so they tell me, or stuff they have to do to look busy. But all right, thanks for joining us for episode 101. And also, last thing before we go, reach out to either Alex or I, as we will be continuing into the new year with exploring the libraries, as far as I know.
What am I doing?
I just if people have things they want to, there's actually in the Discord. I think there's still a, or maybe it's gone.
I don't know.
Reach out either way. Reach out to one of us and be like, hey, like, could you do this, or what? Some things that you want us to talk about, or otherwise we're just going to continue with our shenanigans. We'll see what happens with Alex's internet. We're hoping Santa's, Alex has been a good boy, and Santa brings him a big boost in internet speed, or a modem, or a Ethernet card for his computer. Something.
You just sound like you live in a terrible place that everybody has the same internet as you, and you just get bogged down. Terrible area rating.
No, his phone is fine. Like, his phone gets like a great internet speed off of his Wi-Fi, but his computer doesn't. So now I'm thinking it's an actual physical piece.
Time for a new computer.
It is a new computer.
Impossible. So I'm going to drive back up to Brampton again with my 100-foot Ethernet cord, and we'll see if we can drop the internet in your house again. Hardline it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Drill and feed. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. This has been Exploring the Libraries. We'll see you guys. Oh, actually, are we doing an episode next week?
I don't know. There'll be a message whether we're doing one or not.
Jeez. Here we go.
All right, Will, are we doing a video next week?
I just host this thing. I don't run it.
27th. You know what? I do less than that, Will.
It's true. This is very true. 27th is after Boxing Day. Yeah, let's do one. Let's do one for sure. Go fund me for Alex's internet. We'll get it started at some point. I'll collect the fees for it or the donations, and then I'll fix his internet. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Okay.